Hello and welcome in. Today we are going to give you an inside look of the Tesla Model X running FSD 13.2.9. We're going to take a quick run from Aubrey, Texas over to Flower Mound. We've got to run to the office and do a few things. Today's goal is to let the car drive, right? Sometimes I have to kind of intervene. It'll get in a turn-only lane. So we're just going to let it do what it does today. So this will be a fun video, letting FSD do all the work. And this is what my daily commute looks like with my car driving itself. With that, let's get on the road. All right. So it backed out in the wrong direction. It could have gone that way and worked its way around, but it's choosing instead to turn around here in the parking lot. So like I said, we're just going to let it do what it wants to do. One thing I've noticed, and if you use FSD, you'll notice this too. So we're going to have to do another little turn here, I think. Yeah. This car can drive itself across the country, highways, byways, freeways, this way, that way. But it gets super confused in parking lots, which just cracks me up. It's the funniest thing in the world, because you would think that parking lots would be the easier thing to do. But that's where I see the most challenge in FSD is in the parking lot. On the road, it does great. 99.9% of the time, it just goes. It does a really good job navigating different scenarios and situations. But in the parking lot, it just gets a little confused. Anyway, we made our way out of the parking lot. I didn't have to touch it. Some unnecessary directions and redirections there, but it's okay. It's okay. Here we are. We're on the road. I do have the AC cranked quite a bit. It is 91 degrees here in Aubrey, Texas. So we're going to let that go. Hopefully it doesn't interfere with the audio too terribly much. The other thing that I'm experimenting with here, and I'm looking for your feedback, so please do comment below and let me know. We've got this camera placement. So we've got the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 here, and this is the GoPro Hero Black 13 up here in the front. Looking back, I probably should have bought two of the same camera, but you know what? This works just fine. It's interesting. I like things about the GoPro, and I like things about the Insta. I don't like things about the GoPro, and I don't like things about the Insta. So there you go. I really love the way that GoPro formats the videos. It makes editing a bit easier. Insta likes to break them up a lot more, which makes it kind of tedious in the post-editing process. Okay, so taking a right here on Fish Trap, it could have gone on down to 380 there, but it usually likes to take this Fish Trap route for some reason, so we'll let it go. We'll let it go. Handles the turn nicely, no problem. If you can see here in the instrument cluster, pay attention to when the turn signals are activated. You can see the camera is displayed here, which allows you to see down the side of the car when the turn signals are active. I've been driving this car for several months now, and I still find it hard to use that. I'm trying to force myself to use that rather than my mirrors. I think that's the intention, and I'm getting better at it. So even whether I'm driving or not, trying to force myself to use those turn signal indicator cameras and the views down the side of the car is something that I'm getting much better at. And I think the idea there is that you don't need the actual cameras on the car. Real quick, I just got an intention monitoring unavailable message. So I have to kind of let the car know that I'm here. And the reason that happened is because I'm wearing sunglasses. FSD here in this camera can't see my eyes. And honestly, if there was anything about Tesla FSD that I could complain about, it's that. It really pisses me off. I mean that in the best way. That when I'm wearing sunglasses, it throws a fit. I live in Texas. It's hot. It's sunny. I'm absolutely going to wear sunglasses. So I guess I don't like getting in trouble when I'm actually paying attention and doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Tesla really needs to lighten up on that. I feel like it could determine that I'm, the positioning of my head is where it needs to be. I'm obviously not asleep. Attention monitoring is now active, so that means I won't have to interact with the wheel at all. So that's one of the most frustrating things about FSD. And I guess the saving grace or the silver lining there is that I know that at some point in time in the near future, whatever that may mean, that'll go away. There will come a time when the car won't be making sure in that way that I'm paying attention, because it'll be able to do it unsupervised. So we're looking forward to that time. Anyway, so I was talking about the mirrors. I think when the Cybertruck was initially introduced, it was without mirrors, and the idea is that the car doesn't need the mirror. But I have found a gap in that thinking. So when you're driving and the turn signals are activated, that works really, really well, right? So you can look at the cameras and you don't need your mirrors in that situation. But I find that there are times that I need to check my mirrors and the turn signals aren't activated, right? So how do you fill that gap? If I need to check down the side of the car for whatever reason, maybe I'm backing up into my driveway as an example, and I just want to take a quick look at something, I don't have my turn signals activated, and maybe that's the answer. Maybe by rule, see, there it goes again, it's just frustrating. Maybe by rule, you're supposed to turn your turn signal indicator on when you're backing up in that scenario. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. So about this FSD active monitoring unavailable, when that comes up, it usually happens when I'm wearing sunglasses, or maybe I've got a ball cap, so there's an obstruction over my eyes. It seems to satisfy it. I can just scroll here and it satisfies that requirement. Sorry, I'm kind of looking at traffic here. This is an interesting kind of turn. So anyway, handles it great. So I found a device, and I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to install it or not. I'm kind of thinking about it. You have to take the wheel apart and you put it in here, and what it does is it emulates the scroll of this max speed scroll wheel here, and it sends that signal to the computer every couple of seconds. So if active monitoring is unavailable, I'll never have to touch the wheel because it's kind of happening behind the scenes through that emulation. But it only works in the scenario where active monitoring is unavailable. The other day I tested it a little bit, and active monitoring was available, but I was deliberately kind of looking off for an extended period of time to test what FSD would do. And so I was kind of looking at it out of my peripheral here, and when it came up, and so it's doing it right now because I'm looking away. So if active monitoring is available and I'm looking away, I'm distracted, and I touch the wheel, the scroll wheel here, it gets very angry. It immediately turned red. It was able to determine that I, even though interacted with the wheel, was still not paying attention. So if FSD monitoring is active, that solution doesn't work. So you can't just sleep or do whatever you want to do. It knows that I wasn't looking forward. However, if I'm looking forward and active monitoring is unavailable, so like if I'm wearing sunglasses or a ball cap, that's when that emulation device would work. And again, I haven't decided still yet if I'm going to do that. I might, we'll see. So we're cruising along 69 miles an hour in a 50 mile per hour zone, which, full transparency, that's significantly faster than what I drive. I guess I just had it baked into my head for years and years and years that the safe kind of drift limit over the speed limit there is about 5 miles per hour. And I never really tested that. I always drove maximum 5 miles per hour over the speed limit and very rarely get speeding tickets. since I've been using FSD, I'm at a minimum of 15 miles per hour over the speed limit all the time. Right now we're 23 miles per hour over the speed limit. A couple of things, if you take a look at the traffic here though, we're going with the flow of traffic. So FSD is completely comfortable with a 76 and a 50, so we're well over the speed limit here. The thousands of miles that I have been in this car using FSD over the speed limit, 15, 20 miles per hour over the speed limit, I've not been pulled over one single time, which is just insane. And I'm not running any kind of a radar detector, so not been pulled over at all. And I am far exceeding kind of that upper limit that I had to find for myself, and how far over the speed limit I'm willing to drive as a driver. So there you go. It seems like you could get away with speeding quite a lot more than you might think. That's just me though. And another question that I get asked all the time is, because we Uber in this car as well, if you didn't know. We love sharing the experience with people. And one of the questions that they like to ask is, you know, some people are concerned with A, allowing the car to drive, B, allowing it to drive so fast. If you go into your settings here, under autopilot, you can tell it what you want your max speed offset to be and your speed offset. So I could completely control whether or not I allow it to go over the speed limit. We could set it up so that it doesn't go over the speed limit at all. And so if you're concerned about that, it's a configuration. You can control that. So we're coming up on this North Mayhill Road left-hand turn here, where FSD has made mistakes in the past. Sorry, the GoPro's beeping at me. I don't know why. Did it stop? Oh, it quit. See, that's one of the things that I hate about GoPro, man. It does that all the time for no reason. It'll just stop. Which is... It's so, in that situation, for whatever reason, it just stopped recording. I don't know why. I didn't see an error message. Maybe I can go back and check this tape and see what happened there. So that's going to create an interesting post-editing situation. I'll combine the videos. Anyway, we'll make it work. Don't worry about it. So sometimes it overheats. And right now I know I can see that I've got a ton of air behind it, so it's not a massive problem. Other times, there's this kind of file system input-output error, and it just crashes. In the Insta Pro, it never crashes. It's never a problem. So I think if I replaced either one of them, it would be the GoPro that I replaced. So anyway, what I was saying was this left hill turn here at North Mayhill, and it actually handled it correctly this time, so it's not an issue. But sometimes it doesn't get into the turn-only lane, and it tries to hit it from that right lane there, which is incorrect. Incorrect. I think one of the reasons that I'm so mad at GoPro, so when I decided to start this vlog, I'll call it a vlog, this YouTube channel, in my head, GoPro was it, right? I don't even know that I was aware of other action cams. So I thought that was kind of the end-all, be-all, end-all kind of action cam solution. So I bought it, and it wasn't cheap. The thing was $400, $500, something like that. And immediately right out of the gate, it just started doing that, crashing, in the middle of videoing. And sometimes I wouldn't know that it crashed. So I would be out driving for like 2 hours filming really cool things around FSD. And I'd get home to edit the video, and there was none. And man, that was just incredibly frustrating. So I took it back, and I thought, hey, maybe I got a lemon here, right? And so I exchanged it. Same problem. Same kind of issues, and I was finally done, and I bought the Insta Pro. So if you're looking for an action camera recommendation based on what I know, don't buy a GoPro. Buy Insta. The camera's really great. And I've seen a new one that I'm thinking about experimenting with, I think it's called the X5, and it's this 360-degree camera. Let me know if you want to see that. And what I would do is I would mount it here, and it would kind of hang out here, and it's capable, so it'll capture this front-facing view, but it's capable of kind of spinning around, so it can spin to me and it could spin back to the passengers. I don't know what it looks like or what dictates the trigger for it to spin and capture. So is it voice activated? Like, will it spin around? I don't know. I might play with it. Let me know if you want to see that. It could be fun. And so here in this situation, we're at 48 and a 45, so just 2 to 3 miles per hour over the speed limit. And a big reason for that is we don't really have any lead cars or flow of traffic. We've got this guy here that just passed us. They're probably doing about 50. So you can see how FSD behaves differently based on how traffic's flowing. If traffic's flowing 20 miles per hour faster than the speed limit, FSD is going to keep pace and keep it right there. You won't find that it shoots ahead and sets the pace in most cases. So it's smart in the decisions that it makes there. It's I'm really excited to stitch this video together and see what it looks like. I can't wait to share it with you. If you've seen a couple of my other videos, you know that recently I've started asking you all to like, comment, share, subscribe. When I started the channel, I told myself that I wouldn't do that. I don't like when people do that. Make sure you smash the like button. I never liked that. My thinking on that was, if I like it, I'll like it. If I want to subscribe, I don't need you to tell me that. But what I've learned over the last few months, in this channel, it's brand new. We technically started it in January, but February, March, we didn't post anything. In January, we posted a couple of videos. We were renting a Model Y at the time, which is what kind of inspired this. So from about April 1st till now, we've been pretty active on the channel. And it's new, and it's a baby channel, and that's fine. And the intention wasn't to be a big YouTube channel. The intention was to get out there and create this content and share it with you. So my objective is to share the content with people, so that this message gets told, right? The channel has about 41,000 views, which is nothing for, the big YouTube people. They'll get that many views or more on a single video. But to me, 41,000 views is huge. And of those 41,000 views, 285 people have subscribed, which is a very tiny amount. And the way the YouTube algorithm works is it'll serve your video up to more people. People engage by liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, watching, right? And because the like percentage and the subscribe percentage is so low, YouTube's not pushing the videos out to the broader audience. And so that's why I'm asking for the subscribers, so that we can continue to push this out and share this messaging. So I'll say it, even though I don't want to. Hey, make sure you smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. But of course, that's only if you find the content meaningful. If this is something that you think people should see, then share it out. Like, comment, subscribe, and share it out. That's how we're going to get the message out. And that message being, hey, listen, folks, FSD is an amazing thing. It's still in its infancy from a technology perspective, but this is truly trailblazing stuff. And I think 10 years from now, nobody will be driving. Nobody will be driving. It reminds me of a time, not that I was here to see it, or what it must have been like, people riding around on horses and carriages, and Ford came along and said, hey, check this thing out. You don't have to do the horse thing anymore. And there were probably a lot of people that were just dead set against it. oh, how are you going to put gas in it? There are no gas stations. There are no roads. There are all these things. And people probably didn't embrace it, but they found a way. And I think the future is people won't be driving their cars. I never drive anymore. Like, and this car is actually super fun to drive, like drive, and I don't drive it. I'm still fascinated by watching it drive. It blows my mind. It hasn't gotten old. I've probably got close to 10,000 miles using FSD now. And I'm never going to get tired of it. I can't wait for the day that I can get in here and throw on a movie or, do some work or take a nap on a road trip to Houston or Austin. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait for it. Denton County Constable, Precinct 1 there. I don't know what I would do if they outlawed FSD. I would be a criminal for sure. There's no way. There's no way I would give it up. And there are some other really cool cars out there. You take your pick: Porsche, Lamborghini, Bugatti, Hummer EV. The list just goes on, and there are a lot of beautiful, amazing cars out there. Big trucks, small trucks. And I have lost all desire. The other day I was driving, and I'm not a huge fan of Lamborghini. I mean, they're Lamborghini. They are cool. They are what they are. But I've never thought I'd love to have a Lamborghini. So I was driving, and this black car comes up behind me, and I saw the headlights, and I thought, wow, that's a beautiful car. That is a beautiful car. So I threw these cameras up so that I could get a better look at it. It was a Lamborghini. It must have been a 2026 model Lamborghini, and it was stunningly beautiful. And I thought, okay, I guess if I ever wanted a gas car and I were loaded, maybe I'd have that in the garage somewhere. I don't know. But regardless of what kind of toy or thing that I have that satisfies those desires, I will never, ever, ever not have something like this. Yeah. I couldn't, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to go back, once you experience it. I think my next Tesla will be the Cybertruck. Everybody I talk to, like, oh, it's ugly, it's hideous. I don't even know why he designed a truck that looks like that. And, two things come to mind for me right away. First of all, in the driver's seat, you can't see it. It doesn't matter. Number two, I've actually seen some really amazing looking Cybertrucks. And the style that I saw, that I thought, that looks really cool, actually. It was a gloss black Cybertruck. The tinted windows, it looked so cool. And then they had, I think they were 24-inch custom wheels with all-terrain tires, and it just looked freaking awesome. It looked like a vehicle that you might see pull out of some sort of spaceship onto the surface of Mars. It looked really, really cool. Like, I'd rock it. I would absolutely rock that thing. And I would make YouTube videos in it, so I don't know. So far on this drive, it's not making some of the mistakes that it makes in the past. Sometimes it likes to try to be in the left lane there, which is a turn-only lane, and then it's got to fight at the last second to kind of get over. So it's interesting to see how it makes adjustments based on how you interact. So what I would do is, prior to getting up to that stoplight, I would take over and force it over, because I know that I don't want to deal with that jockeying there in that intersection. So it seems to have learned, I don't like that. I'm going to make you get in this lane. And today it did it quite well. So very pleased to see that. There's another interesting thing in the Flower Mound area. If you're driving in the left lane here, it suddenly just like splits off into two turn-only lanes. It's confusing. Like, as a human driver, the first time you see it, you're like, yeah, what is this? And initially, FSD would hit that and then get forced into the turn only lane, which is annoying because then you have to loop around and deal with that situation. And then it got smarter in that it would kind of go through the painted stripes and work its way back over to the right. And so today it'll be interesting to see how it handles it. And right now we're kind of riding in the middle lane, which is interesting because in the middle lane here, we would completely avoid that weird scenario. When we come up on it, I'll show it to you. I'll point it out. It's a weird kind of little thing. And I haven't seen it anywhere other than Flower Mound. Oh, here we go. Apply turning force. So here you have a normal, hey, I'm going to get over into the left lane. This is a turn only situation here. And this lane stays straight. But up here in Flower Mound, this lane literally just guts off into 2 turn only lanes pretty quickly too. And that's the other thing that I find interesting, like not being able to have visibility into the way the code works. I know that this car can see 600 feet or so in front, especially on a day like today. But what I don't know is what is it paying attention to? What is it processing? Is it even looking at, paint lines 600 feet down the road? There are no obvious road signs that I'm aware of that talk about what it does. So we'll see. We'll see what it looks like when we come up on it here. I don't think we'll see it here. Maybe at this light, we'll see it. Looking, right lanes turn only. And that's just stupid the way they do that. your lane's just suddenly gone. And so if you're not familiar with the area, does that ever happen to you? Like you just get dumped off on a road that you didn't intend to because you couldn't get over in time? I think they could be a bit more graceful about it. So if you're a road engineer, pay attention. So I took the sunglasses off. Here it is, right here. Check it out. So if we're in the left lane, here's an example. It just, with very little warning, just dumps you off and it forces you off. So initially FSD didn't know how to handle that. And then as it kind of learned, it would make its way across these painted lines here. And today it looks like it intentionally stayed out of that left lane. So we'll see. There's going to be more opportunity up ahead here to see what it does with it. But Flower Mound is weird with that. There's also a lot of, everywhere you go in Flower Mound, you have this divider here between these 2 lanes of traffic going in each direction. So just about everywhere you go, you have to fight tons of traffic going in both directions to get in and out of things all over Flower Mound. But it's fun to watch FSD handle it. It'll sit there and yeah, it's just really great. It's really great. quiet out here today. Not a lot of traffic. It is noon, high noon. So this is Village Parkway, Highland Village, Texas. This area is gorgeous. It's a really nice area, beautiful homes, very near the lake here. This is a great area. I just love the freedom of being able to look around a little bit within reason. It's important to still, pay attention and stay focused, but it's just nice. By the way, if you happen to experience FSD for yourself, I highly recommend it. You can go over to Tesla and demo any Tesla that you want. You just give them your license and you can go with it. You can take it out, drive it, do whatever you want. The Tesla, I'll call it a dealership. I don't know that it is. Tesla dealership, zero pressure sales. If you have a question, if you want to learn more, if you want to buy it, they're there. but they do not chase you down. They're not gonna, it's a really great experience. I highly, highly recommend it. By the way, if you do ever decide to buy a Tesla, make sure you use my referral code. Greatly appreciate it. I used to link them in the video. I don't do that anymore, but it's in the channel information. Or you know what? Maybe I'll just throw it in the video. I don't know. But yeah, if you're going to buy one, use my referral code. It gives you a discount, and it gives me cool stuff too, like free charging. And I actually need an extra charger. So hey, help a YouTube content creator out. How about it? Yeah, another call out here, if you're still tuned in. Would love to get some feedback from you on the camera placement. Can you see well? Can you hear well? What can I change? How can I make it better? Right? Because I think the viewing experience is important. Just let me know. Let me know in the comments down below. Looks like the battery's starting to run a little low, which is okay. I could run a cable to it, but I didn't want it. It would hang here and really kind of interfere. We started off with like 50 or 60%, so the battery's good for probably a couple of hours. The challenge with the GoPro really has to do with it overheating. And I've got the AC blowing right on it here, so I don't think it's going to overheat. The Insta, we don't have a battery in it, which is why we have the cable here. Still feels a little warm in there. But the Insta does a much better job of managing it, I think. I've had it, I ran it on battery and it was plugged in for like 5.5 or 6 hours on a trip we took up to Kansas City. Just did really, really well. You know, another question people ask me is, what do I do with my hands now that they're not on the wheel? And I actually really like just folding them. I fold my arms and it's comfortable to me. It just works. Or I might put them here, or here, or here. I have a lot of options. Now that I don't have to be on the yoke. I used to drive like this. Like this. I don't know. This is more comfortable. You should try it. In the Dallas-Fort Worth area, there are a ton of airplanes. And I love to watch airplanes. They fascinate me, always have. So, especially in the Model X here, because you have this expansive kind of windshield. This view is, and you can see that straight up ahead, straight up. And so I'll watch these airplanes kind of fly over as I'm driving or being driven around the DFW area. Medea is a really good Mexican food, by the way. Tex-Mex, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to have that debate. It's good. So if you are in DFW, go check it out. Let me know what you think about it. If you know of a better place, let me know. I'm always on the hunt for really great tasting Mexican food. So let me know. What's the best Mexican food in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? I'm down to drive. I'll take a trip. Let's go. All right, we are finally turning into the parking lot here. Remember what I said at the beginning of the video? Parking lot is like the Achilles heel of FSD right now. I know that they will fix it one of these days. So let's see how it does here. So we're gonna go down, we're gonna take this right here, but it usually gets super confused. It doesn't understand the actual point that I'm trying to get to here. And it likes to take this first right into the parking lot here, which is incorrect. And it's just, look at it creeping. We're almost at a standstill. So it didn't turn here. It usually does, and it'll work its way back into this back area, and there it goes. So I'm gonna let it go for a second. This is not where I wanna go. It's trying to work its way around to this destination point here, and it's not gonna be able to because there's a building in the way. Let's see what happens. I don't know. So here it's just kind of hanging out a little bit. What I would love to see is that it pull into a parking lot and be able to just park and do what it needs to do. You can see the wheels drifting a little bit here, so it's still thinking. It still wants to do something. It's deciding, I think, that it's not here. It knows that it can't get there through the building, so it's just sitting here thinking about it. And look, so it doesn't bother me at all. I have accepted the fact that in parking lots, I need to finish it out. And that's okay with me, because it does such a great job in all other scenarios. I don't mind at all, right? So it's sitting here. It hasn't, I don't think it's finished. It still acts like it wants to do something, but I'm not willing to sit here and, well, maybe, I don't know. It's interesting. It doesn't work well, right? It doesn't work well. So two things that I could complain about Tesla FSD. Don't nag me because I have sunglasses on. And hey, you know what? Let's get this parking lot thing worked out, right? In any case, we're gonna take it. We'll throw it into reverse. We'll whip it around, and I'll show you what I end up doing. You know, once I take it in a parking lot. I love to use the Autopark. Oh, look, there's another Model X. How about that? Anyway, I love to use the Autopark, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to select this piece here. I press this scroll wheel here, and it will park perfectly every single time. But interestingly enough, in FSD, it will not. It does not transition from FSD to whatever's happening with the Autopark functionality right here. Once they nail that, and you can pull into a parking lot and it kind of figure its way out and then successfully park, it's going to be a perfect end-to-end solution. I can't say it enough how much I absolutely just love this technology. Hey, as always, thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you find value in the content that we're pushing out, and we'll catch you in the next one.